appearance and reality would be opposite to each other. And if you base your judgment only on the appearance, the external form, you'll be deceived. You will be deceived. Your religion will be taken away from you and you would not even know it. You have to be able to pierce beyond the external form to reach the internal substance. Only then would you know what is the reality of a thing. The road to heaven, and he makes it look like the road to hell. The road to hell, and he makes it look like the road to heaven. And if you do not have spirituality, if you do not have the capacity to see not only with the external eye, but the internal eye, you'll be deceived. Let me give you an example, and then I'll stop. I know this is not going to please some people, but my duty is to teach the religion and to please my Lord. If I cannot preach the religion to please my Lord, I should go and start planting peas. Make a garden. The Prophet ﷺ, sometimes he bought goods, but did not have the money to pay for it. So the shopkeeper would give him time to pay. This is called a credit transaction. In a credit transaction, the buyer is given time to pay. But the credit price could not be increased over the cash price. There is absolutely no evidence that that occurred in the time of the Prophet ﷺ. Credit price and cash price must be the same. If the credit price is higher than the cash price, then the difference between the credit price and the cash price would be because of time. That money has increased over time, and that would be riba. Now let us explain to you what now takes place in the world in these curious institutions called Islamic banks and Islamic financial institutions. The house is on sale for 200,000 ringgits. And you don't have the 200,000 ringgits to buy the house. So you go to the bank, and the bank says, no problem. The bank says, we'll buy the house for 200,000 ringgits, and we would sell the house to you for 400,000 ringgits. And we would give you, say, 20 years or 30 years to pay. And hence the bank is offering a credit transaction. The price is 400,000 ringgits, and because both buyer and seller are aware of the extent of the profit margin, they call it markup, they say that this is murabaha. We say it is not murabaha. And here is our reason for rejecting this as murabaha. If the credit price is 400,000 ringgits and the cash price is 200,000 ringgits, then the difference between the credit price and the cash price would be 200,000 ringgits. We say that the 200,000 ringgits difference between the credit price and the cash price is because of the 20 years or 30 years time of the credit transaction. And therefore we say this is not murabaha, this is riba. And this is called murabaha. Murabaha. Oh, wait a minute. Hold it. 1 minute, please. This is a credit transaction, isn't it? Yes, sir, it is a credit transaction. You have 20 years. And you're selling me for 400,000, isn't it? Yes, sir. Selling for 400,000. What is the cash price? Imran Hosein, please leave. Please go. I don't see you anymore. No, I just asked what is the cash price. That's all. He's a troublemaker. Why? The cash price is 200,000. The credit price is 400,000. The difference between 200,000 and 400,000 is riba. You see, Sheikh Imran, the buyer and the seller are both in agreement. And therefore this is a halal transaction. Because buyer and seller both agreed to 400,000. Once there is agreement on the price, this is halal. So then I asked him, and of course he never invited me to come back again to his office when I gave him this example. I said, suppose you meet a prostitute and you negotiate a price with her. Oh, his face is turning red now. 200 ringgits. She is selling and you are buying. And there is agreement between buyer and seller. Does it make it halal? He threw me out of his office. No. Agreement between buyer and seller for 200 ringgits does not make it halal. No. Around the world today, the distinguished and learned scholars of Islam cannot recognize this to be riba. No, they cannot recognize it to be riba. And they give fatwa upon fatwa upon fatwa. I cannot blame government. No. I cannot blame the bank manager. No. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, listen to his words and then let me finish. About a people who have eyes and they cannot see. They're being tested and they fail the test in this age because of spiritual blindness, not lack of external knowledge, but internal blindness. He said, يُوشِكُ وَيَأْتِي عَلَى النَّاسِ زَمَانٍ. It will not be long before the time will come. لَا يَبْقَى مِنَ الْإِسْلَامِ إِلَّا اسْمُهُ. When nothing will remain of Islam but the name. Nothing will remain of Islam but the name. وَلَا يَبْقَى مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ إِلَّا رَسْمُهُ. And when nothing will remain of the Quran but the traces of the writing mechanically recited, you will know that age when it comes. مَسَاجِدُهُمْ آمِرَةٌ وَهِيَ خَرَابٌ مِنَ الْهُدَى. In that age, the masajid will be grand structures, but totally devoid of guidance. And now listen to the last piece. Ulama'uhum, the religious scholars of Islam of that age. Ulama'uhum sharrun nasi mimman tahta adim as-sama. They will be the worst people beneath the sky. Why? Because of spiritual blindness. They have eyes and they don't see. They have ears and they don't hear. They have hearts and they don't understand. They're just like cattle. They cannot recognize the signs that are unfolding in the world. They cannot see the tricks which are being used to deprive us of our faith.